Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Zach Judson, and I'm going to be doing my persuasive speech on sports and like college sports and college athletes because I am one. Um, I wrote down a few questions here and my opinions on them to try to get you guys to view them the same way as I do because it's the point of a persuasive speech. So, the first question is, should college athletes get paid for being on a sports team? I think they should because many athletes go to college and they don't even graduate because they're getting drafted or they have the potential of getting drafted. So the scholarship is basically useless to them because they're not going to finish out their degree. These college athletes are making tons of money for the school that people don't even realize how much money that schools are making off these kids that can't even autograph something for a little kid in the stands because it's against NCAA double regulations. Um, they're basically working for the school for free, and they're workers, so they should get paid as such. Um, Next question is, should an athlete be required to pass regular drug tests? I honestly see both sides of this because you are in college and a regular college student that's not on a sports team doesn't have to take a drug test to stay enrolled in the school or stay in their classes. Um, but if you're on a sports team, I think you ultimately should have to pass and take a drug test because you're you're held to a higher standard. Um, People look up to you more, I guess you could say, because you are on a sports team. Like I'm like a little kid at a Division 1 basketball game is gonna look up to the star player on Duke, and if he fails a drug test, that's not a good look. So I think that you should have to pass a drug test because you're held to a higher standard and you essentially have more responsibilities and more things to keep up with. Um, should professional female athletes get paid the same as men? Before I give my opinion on this, I want to say why I can see that they don't. The honest answer is why that professional women athletes don't get paid as much as men is because they honestly just don't bring in the same revenue um, and the same amount of popularity as the NBA compared to the WNBA does. And that's honestly why they're not getting paid the same as male professional athletes is because they're just not bringing in the same amount of money as the NBA. But yes, I do think that there needs to be some sort of way that, and people need to figure out a way to equalize the pay because they're ultimately playing the same sport, doing the same thing. It's just the amount of revenue that the NBA is bringing in compared to the WNBA or something like that. Um, are there any cases where athletes should be allowed to use steroids? Straight up answer no. Absolutely not. The effect of steroids on an individual outweighs any benefits for there being an allowance to take them. They're just not good for you. They're just it's a drug. It's an addictive drug that college athletes or any athlete shouldn't be allowed to take because of the effects it can have on their body and mind. Um, should schools be required to teach all students how to swim? Yes, they should. I believe that swimming is an essential part and essential knowledge of life. I think everybody should know how to swim because you never know when you're going to be near a big body of water or in a situation where you need to know how to swim. Like, we live in New York State, like, there could be a flash flood or you could be by a lake at any point, really. Um, or even a pond. Like, there's so many ponds where I live, and if we're with one of my friends and he doesn't know how to swim, we can't go because I'm not a lifeguard. I wouldn't know what to do in a situation if he started drowning. Um, so yeah, I think it should be a requirement that all schools are required to teach all students how to swim because it's an essential life skill that I think everybody should know how to do. And the last question is, should parents allow their kids to play tackle football? Yes. And I know this is a big question, whether they should be allowed or not, because of all this CTE and concussion studies and stuff like that, that football has an effect on your brain. But here's my side, okay? I think that they should be able to play younger, when they're young, tackle football, because when they're that young, that's the age that you teach them how to play the game the right way. That's how you teach them how to tackle the right way. If they don't grow up till 14 and have just been playing backyard football their whole life, they're going to play organized football like backyard football. And that would create more problems, I think, than teaching young kids how to tackle the right way instead of not being able to teach them till they're 13, till they're teenagers. And most of the time, young teenagers don't want to listen to anybody. They think they're doing everything the right way, which would become another issue. So, I think that they should be able to play at a young age because that's when you teach them the right way to play. That's when you teach them how to tackle the right way. That's when you teach them good sportsmanship. That's when you teach them how to deal with losing and deal with winning. A young age, playing sports at a young age teaches you many life skills that you take with you throughout your whole life. And not allowing kids to play tackle football would take some of that away for kids because maybe that's the only sport they want to play or that's the only sport they're interested in. So, yeah. Thank you guys for listening. If you have any questions or want to debate about any of my opinions here, just comment down in the discussion and we'll talk it out. Thank you.